Hello, hello! Perfidious Pete here, rosining up my bow so my fiddle strings ring loud and true as I play a dirge for a burning Rome in Rimworld. What can I say? The Carthaginians have come, they've sacked my city and looted the ruins. And all that remains among the wreckage is one lone, half-crazed, nudist salt miner, Crusty Cornelius, mopping up the gallons and gallons of blood and eating the bodies of the fallen Carthaginians, which in this case are actually a bunch of pigs. They're the ones that brought us to this. They crossed the Alps. They did it. They brought us low, but ultimately revenge will be ours because we are going to devour their delicious flesh. But the colony, we've had some real trials and tribulations, man. We had a fire. We had a famine, which is what sunk us into this whole mess to begin with, because instead of just boarding up the hole and keeping these man-eating hogs out of our base, I was forced to let them in and try to kill them so that I could eat their delicious flesh. We've had pestilence. It was infection that killed Flores, Sappy, and Marie, I believe. And, well, I mean, the fact that 3 of our colonists got killed, I think more than covers the whole death ratio. So, yeah, that's it. We've got it. But Crusty Cornelius, man, he's made of stern stuff. He's nothing but bile and salt. And his loyal compadre, Rick the Mule, Rick doesn't give a single shit about anyone or anything. And that's why together, not even all 4 horsemen of the apocalypse can stop Crusty and Rick. Nothing is going to bring them down. It can't be done. They can't be stopped. Crusty, what the hell are you doing? You're cleaning some blood. All right, well, that's fine. Clean the hog blood out of the kitchen. That's a respectable way to spend your time. But I kind of feel like maybe you should do a little cooking here, Crusty. What's next on the menu? You're going to continue clean. You're going to clean blood until it's all clean. Animal starvation. Rick, can't. You're unrestricted. Fend for yourself. There's plenty of shit out here you can eat. Eat that turkey. I don't give a shit what you do. You don't give a shit about anyone, but kind of makes it difficult for anybody to give a shit about you either. Let's crank up the old time here. Krusty's got most of the blood, I think, basically mopped up. And after he does that, he should probably begin cooking. There's nothing to repair. You won't have any plants to cut. He doesn't need bed rest. So yeah, once all the blood is cleaned up, Crusty should start cooking. Oh God, he's going to clean up all the blood. Oh, you know what, Crusty? No, here, cook first. Do a little bit of cooking first, and then we'll worry about having to clean up all of the blood in the universe. That blood's not going anywhere, Crusty. Don't worry. I mean, it's going to, it'll be hanging around. Also, I don't really want you outside, and I definitely don't want you starving. What we should do is get Crusty naked. He's happiest nude, but it is still, well, it's the 1st of spring, actually. I was going to say, it is still winter and it's a little cold outside, but it's the 1st of spring, Crusty. What do you say? Maybe it's time to air out the old wedding tackle? Probably shouldn't have mentioned the wedding tackle, because Crusty, he recently lost his wife. She got chewed apart by rampaging pigs. It was, it was not a good day in the Ballad of Crusty Cornelius. The ballad sings on, but, every ballad has to have a low point. You can't have triumph if there's no adversity. So you know what, Crusty? Why don't you just cook some meals here? When that's done, I think we'll have you go back to cleaning up the blood, and then, I don't know, maybe plant some crops. Also, we got a lot of stuff that really sort of needs to be hauled, too. And this is the problem you're going to run into with your solo colonist colony. They can't do everything. Just one person is not enough. 7 meals. Let's get Crusty up to 8 meals, which will be enough for 4 days, effectively. And he's got a strong stockpile. None of this food is going to go bad, because we do have a pretty strong freezer game going. As soon as Crusty finishes cooking this one, I think we'll change his priority. All right, so, Crusty, we're going to put cook back down to a 3. I'd really like to get you cleaning and hauling, actually. You know what? I'm going to put hauling above cleaning for the time being. Let's get you cleaning and hauling stuff where it needs to go. Okay, discarding that old cowboy hat. All right, that's fine. No, we really don't need you hauling all these rocks, though. There's more important stuff to haul, Crusty. Let's get the perishables in somewhere good. So we're going to have to do this. It looks like Crusty, he's not quite himself. He's a little verklempt recently. Again, though, it's understandable. He's grief-stricken. He's a little confused. He's not thinking straight. He's trying to haul rocks, maybe, instead of hauling the important things. Haul these synth thread. Anything that's outside and is suffering, like, neglect damage or getting damaged by being exposed, this is the stuff we want to haul in first. Rick, down there eating my trees, okay? Oh, that's beautiful. You know, there are plenty of other trees you could have eaten, Rick. I'm telling you, Rick the Mule, this guy, what has he done? What has he done positive for the colony? I think he killed one raider by himself once, and that may be literally the only positive thing he's ever done for this colony. Other than that, he's been nothing but another mouse. Stop eating my trees, you jerk! All right, we're gonna prohibit sowing here. Actually, I think we have sewing turned off pretty much everywhere. Let's let Crusty finish cleaning up the interior. What, are you going to eat our shirts next, Rick? You going to start eating our clothing? And that seems about right. I really don't want Crusty to haul all of these rocks. So you know what? Let's turn these off, actually. How come I can't get these other rocks to be selected? Well, let's just do that then. Don't haul any of these. You know what? Here, what? That's as confused as I've ever been. So turn off hauling those. This does not... We have to do these one at a time? I can't group cancel them? I can. Man, I do not understand the selection mode here, though. It's real odd. Like, why is it only canceling one of these at a time? This should select everything nearby that's of the same variety, right? Okay, whatever. I mean, nobody's going to be using this bedroom anytime in the foreseeable future, so it seems fine. And I don't want Crusty wasting his time hauling this junk. I don't need you spending your time hauling rocks, Crusty. We got more important things to do. Crusty put on a coat. That's smart thinking. It is a little cold outside. I mean, I know you're a nudist, but we got to wait for it to warm up. It is only 37 out. Where are you going? What are you doing? What are you doing, Crusty? Oh, okay. You know what? That's actually a pretty good idea, Crusty. You're all alone in the world here. There's nobody to look out for you. Haul that silver mace back to the stockpile and drop that down. And you know what, Crusty? What we should probably do, let's have you haul all this junk out of here. We got to get rid of this trash so we can reset our traps. These traps are actually going to be a very, very, very important part of our overall defensive strategy. So haul that. And really all I want to do is have Crusty get this stuff off of the traps. And then I want to have him rearm the traps. Crusty, you got to get your defenses built up. You know what? Here, don't do that one, actually. Let's rearm all of these. And what we'll do is we'll have you start at this one. Where you can work your way out. This way you don't accidentally step in your own trap. Because you know what, Crusty? Stepping in your own trap at this point, that would be fatal. If one of your own traps goes off and it kills you, that's it. That's all she wrote. It's done. Game over. It's game over, man. It's game over. Prioritize rearming that. And then we're almost done. We can just throw that on the pile. And then I think we just let Crusty do his thing. Also, it's about bedtime. Crusty has a major break risk. Why are you in such a bad mood, Crusty? Do I really need to ask, though? Crusty has a laundry list of complaints. Some of these debuffs, by the way, are going to last a friggin' eternity. 1 full season for getting over the death of his wife. You know what? A season and 9 days? I'd say I would have expected Crusty to have a little longer grief period, but now that I think about it, he is a cold-blooded, hobo-murdering son of a bitch. 30 days to get over the death of his wife. It's like a month later. He's like, yeah, you know what? I've moved on. Sure, we were only married for like 5 days. Psychic Soothe. Well, finally, Cassandra tosses us a bone in that Crusty gets a little help from beyond the grave here. The Cold Snap has also ended, but Krusty's getting a little help from beyond the grave. I gotta feel like maybe, just maybe, that's the spirit of Silver looking out from Crusty from the hoary nether of digital death. No, it's fine, Rick. Just go ahead and eat all our meals, you jerk. This Rick guy, I'm telling you, he does not bring a lot to the colony. Brilliant strategy, Crusty. Reset that trap and then walk over the top of all of them. That's fantastic thinking. All right, we're going to haul some stuff. This is acceptable behavior. And we're probably sunk. Okay, how many guys is it? 1 with a pistol, 1 with a sandstone club, a guy with frag grenades, and 1 dude with a survival rifle. You know what? Rick the Mule, could you go to the veterinary hospital, please? Otherwise, you're about to get shot. Why are you constantly devouring trees, Rick? Is this your sole purpose in life? Did you take a lesson from the alpha beavers? Be like, nah, I'm going to spend all my time eating trees. This seems like acceptable and reasonable behavior. Also, flick that friggin' switch, Crusty, because we need those turrets on. This is the only thing that might keep us safe when the pirates come. We do have to try and focus fire the guy with the frag grenades, too. He's going to be our top priority. So we got to keep an eye out for when these dudes start their attack. And in fact, that's going to happen soon, so I'm going to slow time down just a titch. Yeah, well, Pete, you know what? I got to say, my finger's feeling a little bit itchy, Pete. Feeling a little bit itchy. I think some of these no-good polecats coming up to jump the claim on my salt mines about to get shot right through their eyeballs. And you know what? They say catharsis is a valuable tool, Pete. And I tell you what, I'm about to get a little of my own cathartic treatment, because there ain't nothing in this world, except for my long-lost, dear-departed silver, that I love more than shooting a hobo in the face. Where's the mad animal? A local squirrel has gone mad. I don't know whether I would call this squirrel local. He's on the other side of the map entirely. I'm not really that worried about one crazed squirrel. I'm pretty sure our turrets can take out a squirrel. If the turrets can't take out a squirrel, then we have wasted a vast number of resources building said turrets. They can't even take out a squirrel? Alright, here come the pirates. Crusty, you're drafted. Get over here and take up station. I kind of am a little angry about these pirates because we're going to have to friggin' bury the sons of bitches. That's going to take forever. Here they come. All right, slow time down. Where's our frag grenade man? Good, frag grenades is in the back, which means pretty good chance he runs away, and I'm really glad we reset these traps. The scene is trying to beat his way through the wall. 2 are down, they're going to flee. I'm not even going to give chase. I don't feel that it's useful or beneficial in any way, shape, or form. So here's what we'll do. Then we'll throw a strip order at these guys. We'll set up 2 more graves, because I gotta bury the sons of bitches. Man, I really miss Psychopath Crusty, who just didn't care about corpses being everywhere. I'm not gonna lie, the corpse hole, it was an elegant solution to a particularly naughty problem. Jesus Christ, Rick, you're eating me out of house at home, though. You gotta learn to fend for yourself, man. Go back on unrestricted and go graze. Feeding this thrumbo is killing me, man. It's killing me. I may have to slaughter Rick. You know what, Rick? If push comes to shove, Crusty Cornelius may eat you. Gotta, what are you doing with that body, though, Crusty? You should maybe drop that guy. And if you want to do something here, prioritize working on these instead. Be undrafted. Go dig these graves. And then when you come across that body. Also, you know what? Let Rick eat those guys. Hey, Rick, you want to eat the dead over here? You're letting a lot of good meat go to waste here, pal. You're eating me out of house at home. Maybe you could just, I don't know, eat one of those dead guys? What do you say? Maybe? Yes? No? Also, I'm going to put Crusty back in his marital bed. Not until he wakes up. I'm not going to disturb his sleep to reassign him a cot, but this room is much nicer, and it will give him some nice little mood bonuses. Crusty needs all the cheering up he can get, man. He's all alone. This is a bitter, cold, dreary world. He's got no company other than Rick the Mule, who all he wants to do is just eat Crusty out of house and home. Yeah, suck it, Rick. How you going to do this? Oh, playing some chess? You know what? That's fine, Crusty. Play some chess. Any kind of joy you can derive from this bitter, miserable world that is all that remains of your shattered existence, you should do it. Make hay while the sun shines, Crusty. Bury bodies while the sun shines. Or, alternatively, while there's a massive thunderstorm. I'm just gonna let that burn. Oh, Crusty's gonna go try and fight a fire. Okay, well, you know what, Crusty? This really seems like the sort of we should just let this thing burn kind of situation. The problem is, I mean, it's basically dirt down to rock. I don't think our base can even burn. Crusty, I don't even want you to try and put this out. So you know what? We're gonna rezone this. Let's clear the home area a bit. Until something important actually catches on fire, I'm not gonna worry about this. Here, if it wants to burn up our graves and burn up this shoddy equipment that's lying around outside the base, fine. Just let the world burn, Crusty. Yeah, that's right, Pete. Everybody's got to burn. We're gonna let it all burn, like a Ben Moody song. Everything burns, Pete. Everything burns, just like the fires of my heart burn from my long-lost silver. Oh, I desperately miss her, Pete. Whatever. Fire can ravage the plains. I don't care. This is dirt also. How the hell is dirt burning? This doesn't even seem logical. Look out, our dirt is on fire. Our walls cannot burn down because this is stone. This is not flammable. Unless it starts burning its way around into, and I don't really think it can jump this dirt gap. We should be safe from a fire perspective. Crusty is hauling steel? Why? And he's eating raw meat. Okay, well that's not gonna do, Crusty. You're gonna have to do some more cooking then. We're gonna put cooking at a higher priority because he's got an extreme break risk. Then again, what difference does it make, Crusty? Break all you want, buddy. You know what? You want to break down and cry? You go ahead, Crusty. You break right down and cry. You cry your little eyes out. You want to break down and just go crazy and start shooting the TV like Elvis in a Madden rampage of Quaaludes and sequin jumpsuits? Fuck it. You can do that too. You do whatever you want, man. This is your colony now. Gonna go fight this fire, though, huh? Crusty has gone berserk. Alright, well. Please don't stand in a fire and burn, Crusty. Please, please, please don't let yourself die. Just don't let yourself die in a fire. I know you're berserk, but at least be... He's just gonna wander into a fire and die. He's out here berserk. He's just like, I'm gonna watch the world burn, Pete. All of it. Burn to the ground. No, seriously, though, Crusty, our house is burning down, though. Yep, up. See, we got a little bit of a fire problem up here, Crusty. Little bit of, no, okay, just, go ahead and let her burn, then. All right, we got the stone walls, so I guess if this wooden wall burns, Crusty's berserk rage has come to an end. Well, that's excellent. Maybe we could put out the fire in some of these important regions, like not here, because we don't care about this. Clear home area. None of this needs to be, we don't need to concern ourselves with that. But this stuff up here, Crusty, bit of a problem. For one thing, the main issue here is that this is burning one of our traps, which is, Crusty is never going to put this out. We're just going to sort of have to be okay with letting it burn. Put the trap out, though. Save that. The wooden walls, if they burn down, we'll replace them with stone. That's not really a big deal. Rick is eating a tree that's on fire. Wow, it's like a Doritos Flamin' Hot Loco Taco right there. Oh, thank God it's raining. And Crusty has gone berserk again. Final straw was very tired. Well, I don't know. Yeah, okay. We're just gonna sit here and mostly watch Crusty just lose his shit, I guess. This is, by and large, the be-all, end-all of Crusty's existence. He's also probably got to be close to starving to death. Is Crusty just gonna starve? His food need is very low. Alright, Crusty, you should probably consider snapping out of this now. You've had 2 berserk rages in the span of a day. That's a little more berserking than is probably healthy. Actually, it's a lot more berserking than is probably healthy. Cassandra the storyteller really isn't cutting us our slack. I thought the storyteller was supposed to be a little bit more dynamic than this. But Cassandra just has her boot on our neck and she won't let up. I know Crusty is exhausted. His berserk rage has come to an end. He's going to eat some raw meat and go to bed. Fantastic. Well, how much catharsis did we get out of that? I mean, Crusty should have worked through a lot of his issues here. We still only get the catharsis bonus once, even though we went insane twice. Alright. Well, okay. I have no idea what Rick was doing, just coming in to make sure Crusty wasn't still insane with rage and possibly going to butcher him in his sleep. First thing Krusty's going to want to do when he gets up is also eat more raw meat, which is bad. Crusty, don't eat raw food. Ate raw food. That's a huge mood debuff, Crusty. It's going to expire, I think, before we wake up. We are not going to let Crusty eat more raw food then. So when it comes time to... And you've got to be shitting me! Another friggin' raid? Come on, man! I thought the dynamic storyteller was... It's... Okay, fantastic. It's a mechanoid. Yeah, this is brilliant. I thought the dynamic storyteller was supposed to let up on us a little bit when things weren't exactly going our way. But Cassandra has been nonstop fuck you, Pete, for like the last 3 episodes. It's just been catastrophic. It's calamity after calamity after calamity. I need this power toggled because this is literally the only thing that's going to stop this mechanoid. Crusty, no, don't eat raw food. Go turn on the turrets. Honestly, I think we're just gonna... Here comes the mechanoid. Okay, the turrets are on. We're gonna... This is it. It's a fight between the turrets. And Crusty, you're gonna cook a meal. I'm not letting you eat raw food. Either the turrets get this mechanoid or that's it. We're just gonna have to call this colony a done. This guy seems to be doing some pretty fantastic work on our turret here. He's wrecking it pretty good. How are the turrets doing on this guy? Well, he's pretty injured. They'll probably get him. Crusty, just... Okay, good. The turrets did the work. Excellent. Crusty, eat this meal. I'd prefer you eat it at a table if possible, and then go turn the power off on the turrets. They're the only thing keeping us alive at the moment. Once you eat this meal, go back and cook more meals. Cooking simple meal. Yes, continue to do this, Crusty, until we have stockpiled several meals. And you know what, Rick? I don't care what you eat, but you're not eating any more of my food. I can't leave you unrestricted because you'll wander in there and eat my food. I can't restrict you. Okay, so Animal Area 1 is where you're restricted to. We're just going to rezone this. So Animal Area 1 now includes all of this. This is an abundance of land for you to graze upon, Rick. I mean, I know this is a desolate wasteland, but here, we'll give you a path that even comes out over this way. And then into, if you want to eat trees, Rick, if you want to graze on grass and trees, here you go, buddy. Knock yourself out. There's plenty of grazing over there. Stay out of the fucking freezer. He's like that lazy roommate you had in college who would never get a job or do anything, just sat around all day playing video games. You'd be like, oh, you got popsicles, dude? Can I have one? You'd be like, you know, I have popsicles because I went to work and got the extra 79 cents that a box of popsicles costs, Rick. You ever consider maybe getting your own popsicles? And he was always like, ah, dude, you know, I just can't find a job. But hey, man, I beat Zelda for the 65th time. And Krusty's totally joy deprived. And going berserk. Alright, well, again, nothing he can hurt. Krusty's just gonna wander around looking for hobos to shoot. I just need one hobo, Pete. That's all I want. Just one single solitary little hobo. Is that too much for a man to ask? One eyeball to put a bullet in? I don't really feel like it's too much to ask, Pete. I really don't. One eyeball. It's all I need. Also, before I forget, I'm just gonna go ahead and rebuild all this stuff. Am I gonna prioritize rebuilding the stuff that's already built? No, actually I'm not. Are these all tripped again? Yeah, we gotta rearm all these traps again. Alright, well, that's fine. We'll put it on the list. We should really probably prioritize the traps because they are what kept us safe the last time we had a significant raid. Except for Johnny Mechanoid over here who's dead. I don't even know what we're gonna do with this guy. We could disassemble him, and burying him is sort of wasteful. Here, let's do this. Let's zone this storage area. It does allow corpses, really? It shouldn't. No humans, no animals. But a mechanoid corpse? It's fine, throw it over there. Meanwhile, Krusty's just wandering around berserk in the rain. Crusty, I know why you're walking in the rain, buddy. You're walking in the rain because when you walk in the rain, nobody can see you cry. I know it hurts, Crusty, but you don't have to hide it, man. You don't have to be such a tough guy all the time. If you're hurting inside, if you're all beat up and damaged, just let it out, Crusty. You just gotta have a good cry, Bo. There's nothing wrong with showing a little emotion now and then. You don't always have to be the bile and salt-crusted, crazed cereal mascot that society wants you to be. Just because they say that's what you gotta do, Crusty, you don't have to give in, man. We have not grown a single chunk of food either. Fortunately, we still have plenty of frozen meat. We got 2 dead wargs, and we could have Crusty hunt. Crusty, I guess, is going to exist on a solely meat diet for the foreseeable future. And Crusty gave himself food poisoning. Fantastic. Boy, this just keeps getting better and better and better, man. We're down to one lonely colonist out here, brave and afraid in the world. You know what we need to do? How warm is it? It's 70. You know what, Crusty? How cold is it outside? It's 61. The time has come, Crusty. When Crusty wakes up, he's getting naked. That's all there is to it. How can we come out of this break risk, this mood funk that we're in? Crusty needs to go back to his roots and let his root, you know, bask in the sunlight. That's what he needs to do. So, Crusty, do it, dog. Character. You know what we're going to do? We're going to assign you a wardrobe, Crusty. Manage outfits. Select outfit, nudist. That's what we want. Crusty will wear a hat and nothing else. Perfect. Done. All right, Crusty, your current outfit, don't wear anything. Be a nudist, Crusty. Let your freak flag fly like you've always wanted, Crusty. Major break risk. Suddenly, Krusty's major break risk has gone to a minor break risk because now he's a naked man in a cowboy hat. It's a good look for you, Crusty. It really is. Naked dude in a cowboy hat. Hell yeah. What's not to love? Crusty turned off the turrets. He's going to go back to cooking simple meals. Krusty's getting things back on track. This is good work, Crusty. All right. Let's get you up to say, you know what, we probably should change the bill on this stove because we do want Crusty to cook anytime cooking needs to be done. But we have one colonist. I don't really think we need to stockpile 70 simple meals. That's 35 days worth of food. What do you say we trim that down to a hearty 20, which is 10 days worth of food? That's still almost a full season. Wouldn't mind seeing maybe a cargo pod or somebody survive a raid or something. That'd be pretty nice. Maybe we could capture a prisoner. I mean, we've got room. Crusty, back to sleep. All right. I say just leave this clothing on the floor, too, Crusty. Don't even try and haul it away. You let your freak flag fly. You be unabashed in your nudism. There's no one around to judge you anymore. This is just, we're easy and free, Crusty. There's not even a Flores around to be like, dude, could you put some pants on? I'm tired of looking at your wrinkled scrotum. Flores was, you know, he was all about inhibitions, but you're not, Crusty. You're all about freedom, man. You're also about the freedom to run out of food. We have 61 meat, and that's it. So we're going to need to do some growing. Let's do a little bit of reprioritizing here. Cooking is at a 2. Hunting is at a 3. Constructing and repairing. We're going to have to put growing up above hauling and cleaning because it really does have to be done. I know we've got pretty much everything set at a 2 right now. And that's very suboptimal because it means Crusty is going to like not really prioritize his time effectively. But growing has got to be really important. We're going to get up to 20 meals. And then we got to do literally anything else. Krusty's going to... Okay, patching up the turret is actually pretty smart. Krusty's going to go around and effect repairs on everything that needs to be repaired. All right, you know what? Actually, Crusty, before you do that, buddy. One other thing we're going to have you do. Rearm these traps. Rearming the traps is actually pretty damn important. Possibly one of the most important things you could do from a survival standpoint. Even though our foes are going to be able to walk around these bad boys until we rebuild those walls. And we're in the vicinity too, so just go ahead and get the rearm in. With this, we could probably pick off, you know, if we just rearm these, we can probably pick off at least one potential invader. Our traps, if they walk through 2 or 3 of these, we'll probably get at least one of them. Another friggin' thunderstorm to start fires? Hey, you know what, Rimworld? Fine, bring it. An exotic goods trader from the township at the valley. Well, if only we had some exotic goods to trade, I'd feel a little better about our situation. Also, Crusty is running around with his dick out, so I gotta assume these people are gonna be not exactly thoroughly desirous of remaining to trade with Crusty. Let's rearm this trap, and before the exotic trade... I mean, when he gets here, we'll have Crusty talk to him. If he's not totally off-put by Krusty's dangling dongle. Here, what do you got, Zane? Hey, it's Billy Zane. He's come to trade with us. I wonder if he's going to trade us a Jada Pinkett Smith and then punch a man through the face. They want $1,700 for Rick, and I'm telling you, I'm tempted, actually. I am. All right, well, here, take this t-shirt we're never going to wear. Any of our clothing that's in just terrible, it's just like really bad shape, we're just going to get rid of it. If it's below 50%, we're never going to wear it anyway. So you know what? Just all of the clothing below 50%, it's gone. All of it's gone. If you're below 50, you're never going to get worn. We set a threshold for our colonists who still wear clothes, which does not include Crusty, by the way. Nope, never again, Crusty. Never again. Never again give in to societal constraints to tell you to wear clothing. Just no, Crusty, say no. In the wintertime, maybe, I mean, we're going to keep some of this clothing because if it gets cold, we're going to want you to not freeze your dongle off. But until that time, don't even bother. We have a small steel sculpture. Oh, he has a small steel sculpture. Mega screen TV, a golden large sculpture of very poor quality. That's Oh, wait, does Zane have medicine? We did use a lot of our available medicine. If Zane has any, we might buy his. Does he have any medicine? No. He has a bunch of organs. I mean, we could get a liver or an extra prosthetic arm or a power claw, which actually sounds pretty badass. We could buy a couple animals. We could buy a rhinoceros. It'd be a good friend for Rick, but I really don't. I mean, Rick is hard enough to feed by himself. I don't really feel like we need to also feed a rhinoceros. Drugs have already had catastrophic drawbacks for the colony. When we needed Engie the most, what was she doing? Dying a bitter, miserable junkie flopping around on the floor like River Phoenix outside the fucking Viper room. That's what she was doing. And Krusty's going back to plant? Well, that's good. Hope springs eternal, just like Krusty's crops hopefully will spring eternal, since we're finally getting a crop in the ground, even though it's the 7th of spring. And speaking of which, this reminds me, Crusty is planting flowers before he's planting food. Not exactly your finest moment, Crusty, but I'll allow it. You do that, I'm going to rezone the animal area to not include any of our growing zones. Actually, clear the animal area. I don't want Rick eating any of our crops. Looks like all the other growing zones are already off limits. Excellent. Alright then, so while Crusty plants... What are you planting even, Crusty? Roses? Alright. Crusty plants some roses for his fallen lover. This is where we're going to end things for the day. If you enjoyed the episode, feel free to drop a like down in the comments section. Of course, your support does really mean a lot to us. And if you'd like to see if Crusty and his dangling dongle can pull themselves out of this funk that they're in, you might consider subscribing as well, because I'm not giving up on Crusty. I believe in Crusty. Hashtag I believe in Crusty. I do. He's the man for the job. Crusty, if you were running in this new presidential election, I swear to Christ, I would vote for you. In fact, I may vote for you anyway, Crusty. I might just go get a write-in ballot and be like, who are you voting for this year, Pete? I voted for Crusty Cornelius. And I can say that I voted for a man with clear conscience rather than choosing the lesser of two evils. Just choosing the lesser of two evils is still choosing evil. Thanks very much for watching, folks, and I'll see you again soon.